Hey there. Hello. Good afternoon. Good morning, actually. Good afternoon, because it will be noon when you watch this. It's Eric here. So we're doing our weekly update on Thursday, and this will also be our lunch and learn for Thursday. So we have a few exciting things to talk about today. We're going to talk about the launch of our CBP program and our passport, our digital passport, and our regular passport. Now, this is my passport here, so I have it kind of blocked out, but as you can see here, I kind of did that. And, we'll talk about how our promotions are going to work, and we're excited to be launching this. This is something we've been working on for quite some time. So as you can see, like different places, like that's Australia, that's Joshua Tree National Park. I put in there, I went to the visitor center. And what drives me crazy in a passport is when they stamp out of order. Oh, that's my visa for China. Shenzhen, we went. Where's that? New Zealand, and then you got to go all the way to the other side, I think, to find all of my other ones, but trying not to do that. But anyways, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about is Thursday, so we're going to be at Village Fest tonight between 6 and 9. We're going to have patty cakes, Patrick, and Flower from Facebook is going to be helping us out again at the booth tonight, so please come see us. We are located in front of Ben & Jerry's from 6 to 10 p.m., and we look forward to seeing everybody. We're going to talk about our weekend scavenger hunt and our CBP agents. But first, since we are on the international and passport theme, I want you to watch this short video here on which features one of my my all-time favorite airline, Qantas, how they store their planes that might be used at one point or another, but after they leave their fleet, they're flown right down the street from us, well, maybe an hour and a half down the road, excuse me, and to Victorville Logistics Airport. So we've got a really cool video, and I think it's one of my favorite places to go meditate because there are so many planes there, and you just look and you know that they're all from around the world, and they bring them here to store them because of the dry desert climate. It's what they call an airplane boneyard. But anyways, I'm going to put this video on. Enjoy the video, and give me 1 second.
I've just taken a flight unlike any I've ever experienced. The service was great, and I can't remember any turbulence, but the destination was...
All right. Technical difficulties. All right. I want to go. Oh, I get it. Okay, here we go.
I've just taken a flight unlike any I've ever experienced. The service was great, and I can't remember any turbulence, but the destination was bizarre. Having spanned the Pacific Ocean, I was flown to a strange and unknown airport in the middle of the searing Californian desert. It's called Victorville, and it's a place where planes go to die. Now, you might think A Flight to Nowhere is a story about the decline of the airline industry, but not necessarily so. It was a story I'd often heard, but never seen. An aircraft graveyard somewhere in the desert in the American West, like the legendary Elephant's Graveyard, a place where the jumbos of the air go to die. I'd always thought it was just another modern myth. It's not. Then, way in the distance, mirage-like, the latest arrival appears. But before this familiar plane lands, we need to start our journey back at the beginning. I have spent a good deal of my life, sadly, in this. OGG, Oscar Golf Golf, in the language of pilots like Captain Georgina Sutton, is a Boeing 767, which has been in Qantas's fleet for almost 25 years. This one plane has flown 5 million passengers, a distance equivalent to 140 trips to the moon and back. Can I kick a tire?
Sure.
That's a hell of a tyre, isn't it? But now, OGG has only one more flight to complete. Even in these difficult times, or because of them, Qantas is upgrading its fleet. But renewal also means retirement. So, with a splash of red paint, the wings of the 767s are being clipped. Does it have a personality?
I think all aircraft have personalities, but I think the 767 as a fleet has a personality. All the pilots who've been on this aircraft love it. None of them want to leave. They want to stay on till the end.
Terrific.
And say goodbye to it in a really appropriate way.
I've made the long trip across the Pacific Ocean more than 100 times, but never aboard a plane to a destination from which there would be no return.
Today we're gate 27 and your seat 47D.
Oh, is there any chance of an upgrade?
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Woolley, we don't have any available today.
The flight crew today, Captains Georgina Sutton and Helen Trenery, and First Officers Sonia Wastel and Donna Porter, between them have 60 years of experience on the 767.
It's unusual to probably have 4 women on the flight deck.
Men still outnumber women in the air.
Yes, they do. But I think it's more and more attractive, and there's a lot more women coming into aviation now.
I'm not sucking up to you, but I feel more confident with a woman pilot.
I think women have a fine eye for detail.
Yes, and you can do more than one thing at a time.
This is lucky. It's good we can.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Woolley. Welcome. 47, straight down the rear of the
Long
aircraft.
way down. This aircraft may be a quarter of a century old, but being owned by Qantas means she's in excellent shape.
Planned route, maintain 5,000-1237.
But that's not enough to save OGG and the other 767s. The high cost of fuel has sealed their fate. Hence, the most unusual air trip I've ever taken. This is an all-economy flight, and usually as the plane starts to fill up, I would be worried that that fat man there is going to sit beside me, or the woman with a screaming baby on this side. But this is a flight to nowhere. I've got the whole plane to myself.
A very good morning to our special passenger Charlie on Qantas 6021 to Southern California. Just about ready to go. It's a lovely day for flying here in Sydney.
It seems today, much of Sydney Airport is waiting to say goodbye. As a mark of respect for the 767, the firefighters spray their best wishes. While the air traffic controllers, usually so businesslike, glow in their praise.
Qantas 6021 on behalf of our services, it's been an absolute pleasure looking after you in our skies. Runway 16 right, clear for takeoff and farewell.
Clear for takeoff, runway 16 right. Thank you very much, Qantas 6021.
And with that, the always extraordinary marvel of flight begins as OGG, 160 tonnes of aircraft, launches skywards. At her 27,963rd and last flight for Qantas.
This aircraft has been absolutely fantastic for us. It's a little bit sad, but it's probably like having a really, really good car. Eventually, it's time to get a new car.
I'm the only passenger on a flight into the Twilight Zone. The novelty of having the plane to myself for 14 hours is amusing for about 10 minutes. Then, I must confess, it gets a little bit lonely.
Hello, Cap.
Good to see you. There's no one to talk to back here. Starved for conversation.
How's it going?
It's going very well. How's the plane going?
It's going really well.
Does she know where she's going?
She knows where she's going.
Oh. She doesn't mind.
No, it's time. Absolutely not.
The next morning, our final destination, Victorville, approaches, and OGG makes another graceful arrival. Her work is now over. It must be a bit of a sad moment though when you close the whole thing down.
The last time, it's like a living being. We've turned it off.
And what button do you use for that?
Fuel control switches.
Victorville, in the middle of the Mojave Desert, is the perfect place to store aircraft because the dry heat means less chance of corrosion. It's why airlines from all over the world come here while they work out what to do with their old planes. I'm seeing something that I've never seen before because airlines don't actually like you looking at this.
Oh, I suppose we'd like you to see the new, but it's something that's healthy to have a look and be respectful of the old.
They might be half a world away from home, but it's like a Qantas museum out here. 20 retired jumbos, 767s and 737s. It's a strange place, isn't it, wandering around, just the eerie moan of the wind through the planes and nothing else. A little bit of mechanical clanking, loose parts. How do you feel about this place?
Yeah, mixed feelings, I think, Charlie. There's a lot of history here. We actually have a bit of a sentimental approach to aircraft, and I've just wandered around quietly here in my own time, having a look at some of the aircraft that I flew here. My first flight as a second officer in Qantas was on that aircraft over there to London, and the one behind it, I flew the Queen. So they have got a lot of history.
And just like Georgina Sattman, Alan Milne, Qantas's head of engineering, has worked on most of these planes. It's not hard to share the nostalgia. It's funny, that's the story of my life. I must have been on every one of these.
I think the chances are pretty high, Charles, that most of these aeroplanes have been graced by your presence.
And I've outlived them.
You have.
Though they have been better maintained.
That's true.
But even though they look lost and abandoned, the Qantas planes hopefully still have a flying future. Unlike some of the other aircraft here, which are broken up for parts or end up on a scrap heap.
Follow me up.
I never got on this way.
Oh, I was going to say, it's not the normal way we let our customers board.
And once we climb up into the cockpit of this 747, Alan wants to show me these are all still viable aircraft, which, with the flick of a switch... So the beast is going to come back to life.
She'll come back to life. They don't get powered up all that often, but as you see now that the power's on...
Oh, I thought it was dead.
No, she's still got plenty of life in her.
So, while they're too expensive for Qantas to operate, perhaps they can still be a good deal for someone else. And at just $30 or $40 million, a genuine bargain. I'm a prospective buyer. I want you to sell this plane to me.
Fantastic service history. They've been maintained like no other aeroplanes in the world.
One owner?
One owner, been treated carefully.
Only driven by a little old lady in the sun there?
Correct.
Despite the recycling, you might think that all of this looks a bit wasteful. But if we want to understand why there are so many planes parked here in the baking heat, we need to travel north, the length of the United States, because what we're seeing down here is the past, and what we'll be seeing up there is the future. In its Seattle factory, Boeing is flat out replacing all those retired aircraft we saw in the desert, and more. They're building 40 of these 737s alone every working month and still can't satisfy the demand as airlines everywhere, including Qantas, upgrade for fuel efficiency and greater passenger comfort. I've seen the future, and already I like it. But before I could drift off to sleep in the 747 of tomorrow, I had an appointment with Boeing's Randy Tinseth, the man you meet if you want to buy one of these things. The history of aviation has been so short, and look where we are now.
Yeah, those first airplanes were made of wood and fabric, and now the airplanes are actually made of a different type of fabric with the carbon fiber reinforced plastic or the composite material. Yeah, technology has driven this business.
Manufacturers like Boeing need to provide planes that are hugely more fuel efficient. These days, over time, fuel can cost more than the plane.
That they've been able to improve their efficiency 50, 60, 70% over the lifetime. And I'll tell you, every year in aviation, we improve the efficiency of our products another 1.5%. So I think we're doing all of the right things.
There are so many planes parked here in the desert, but I keep coming back to the familiar Qantas jets. In the last 5 years, the airlines bought 140 brand new planes to replace these old ones. It seems filling the aircraft graveyard just might be the best way for Australia's national carrier to survive. It's easy to have a kind of Disney spell or a Thomas the Tank Engine thing happening here, but I feel that these planes are a little sad.
Well, some of them will fly again. The way I look at it here, they're with their friends. So maybe not so sad.
With their friends.
Indeed.
So with their friends, I love that. That's so sweet. Anyways, so yeah, I actually, let's say I've flown around the world. I don't know how many times, but I just wanted to say that that video, like I love it because it's just right down here, and it's always fun to go look at the planes. We're going to be having our passport road trip this week, so let me actually have you watch one more video because Qantas, they do have a great marketing program, and they're one of the first airlines that actually redid their safety demonstrations to take it away from the old school where it was just a video and pointing at the exits, and they took it and they took the content and they put it into places throughout their country where they could kind of educate and kind of teach, show what they have to feature in their country. But it wasn't in the plane, but they still talked about like the masks, the slide, all the stuff. So you'll see here in just a second. But I wanted to, let's watch that real quick since I have it queued up because I need to find someone else to help me with this because I'll never understand this thing. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. All right.
Welcome to Qantas in the spirit of Australia. Give us a few minutes of your time and you'll be looked after on your flight. And we'll show you some of our favourite spots around this incredible country.
We're flying over New South Wales Hunter Valley, and you're flying in a Qantas Airbus A380.
When you're this high up, strapping in is a must. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the clasp into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. You can undo your seatbelt by lifting the flap. Keep it done up low and tight during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is on. That includes infants and children. While seated at other times, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened.
If oxygen is required, a mask will drop from above. Pull down firmly to activate the oxygen. Put it on quickly and tighten the strap. Oxygen will flow without the bag inflating. Fix your own mask first and then help others.
It's called a life jacket for a reason, so know where yours is. Your seat has a life jacket under it, next to it, or in the leg rest. Remove your life jacket from the pouch by pulling the tab. Put it over your head, pass the strap around your waist, clip at the front, then tighten. There's a red tag and mouthpiece for inflation, and a whistle and light. Make sure you only inflate your life jacket after you leave the aircraft.
In the unlikely event of an emergency, make sure you're familiar with the brace position. If you can reach the seat in front, brace by folding your arms on the back of the seat and rest your forehead on your arms. If you can't reach the seat in front, lean as far forward as you can and hold on to your legs. If your seat has a sash belt, sit upright, place your hands on your legs and bring your chin to your chest.
Take a moment to locate your exit as the cabin crew point them out. It might be behind you. To remember your nearest exit, count the rows between you and that exit.
Lights will guide you to your exit. Your crew members are pointing them out now.
Your aircraft has escape slides and life rafts, which the crew will operate in an emergency.
If you need to evacuate, leave all items behind.
You can't spin fire on a plane, and you can't smoke either. Qantas aircraft are fitted with smoke detectors, including in the toilets, so there's no smoking until you're back on the ground and out of the airport. This includes e-cigarettes.
Now's the time to make sure that all your bags are either in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you.
Switch any electronic devices to flight mode before takeoff. Phone and tablet devices may be damaged or destroyed if they are caught in the seat mechanism. Please check the location of your electronic devices before you adjust your seat. If you can't find them, avoid moving your seat. Just ask a crew member for help.
It's time to ensure your armrest is down, your seat back is upright, and your tray table is stowed before takeoff. And if you missed anything, it's on your safety card in your seat pocket.
For important information on deep vein thrombosis or DVT, check the Health and Safety section in your Qantas magazine.
It's the crew's job to get you where you're going safely, so follow their instructions at all times. Welcome to the Spirit of Australia and have a great flight.
Awesome. So you see what they did there is they basically took all those routine, mundane things and they put it into different contexts and situations. And that's actually nursing, that's a big thing we do. And you do kind of a learning assessment and you kind of see how different people learn, because some people are audio learners, some people are visual, some people are tactile. So this kind of takes some routine information that people normally will ignore or whatever, and it presents it in multiple different ways in which that allows them to maybe kind of absorb the information better. And on top of that, it kind of showcases the rest of the country. So it kind of is a marketing tool for them. So I think it's really cool. And it kind of brings me back to what we're doing with the passport promotion. And it's funny because what I was doing at the prior company, Desert Beacon, we were going to be doing a video kind of just like this that would kind of highlight the different parts of the Morongo Basin. I just never got around to it because I never had time, but we will be picking that up soon. So please stay tuned on that. But back to our marketing. So let me share screen again. We're going to talk about our Cactus and Border Patrol agent program. Kind of goes with our passports. So back to the passports. So every city, announce the wrong one. Every area is going to be represented by a few pages, and we're going to be emphasizing the concept of gateway cities. So that includes every city that borders the park and cities that are gateways to the park. So Palm Springs is a gateway because the airport is 45 minutes away from us. So a lot of people who are coming here, they come through there. It is a gateway. Same thing with Coachella and Indio, because if you come through the Cottonwood entrance, you're coming from Riverside County. You're that part. And as of now, none of our tourism agencies that exist in San Bernardino County really interact much with the low desert, and that needs to change. And that's one thing I'm working on. And I have to say that Coachella Valley and almost every city down there has been so great and so welcoming with what we're trying to do, and I appreciate that. I wish, not to say that our two cities up here are not. 29 Palms and Yucca Valley have been great. Our problem is trying to get the county on board with things, but we're working on that. So every page, this is kind of a mock-up on our pages. So say this were 29 Palms. 29 Palms, we're going to allow, we're going to have like some background imagery of, say, downtown 29 Palms. We're reaching out to Visit 29 to see if they would like to be a sponsor. It would be great if they would. Same thing with California Welcome Center Yucca Valley. Both these agencies cost us about $400,000 in TOT revenue. So actually more if you count their operating expenses. So it would be nice if they could help with the cost of producing these so we could get travelers engaged and get them up here. So on the 29 Palms page, what we could then do is allow every business owner or entity, if they wanted to participate, they can develop their own stamp. So see, these are Joshua Tree National Park stamps from the different park. We have the north entrance. I think they call it the east entrance. No, oh God, I always get this messed up. North entrance over here, which is the 29 Palms entrance. Then you have the Joshua Tree entrance, the former main entrance, over there in Joshua Tree. And then you have the Cottonwood entrance, which is off of 10. But anyways, every visitor center has their own stamp, and the National Park Services do this. They have stamps at most all the parks, and you can actually buy a big binder looking passport book at all the park visitor centers because people come in from all over the country. They want to visit all of the parks. I think it's great. The passport promotion, it's not a new concept. It's something that has been a lot of different places use it. So that's why I think it's great. We're trying to do something locally to support our businesses. Let's say, for instance, say the Ground Squirrel, if they wanted to participate, they could make their own stamp and then stamp it. And that way different people could have promotions and do it themselves to say, hey, show us you've been to 3 businesses in 29 Palms and we'll give you a discount, or we'll give you some other incentive to go visit another business and tie it in. So it will start, like I said, with Palm Springs. We'll go over to Desert Hot Springs. They are a great gateway city who is interested in working with us based on a few conversations I've had, and so forth, and it will go all the way through. And we're going to take it out to as far out as the state line. We're working hopefully to get Amboy on board to help us and do some promotions out at Roy's. So let me just share the screen. I'll talk about customs because you can't have a passport without customs, correct? So we're going to make it fun. And let me share my screen. And we're going to talk about here. So customs, and let's just share the entire screen for now. Okay. All right, so here we go. All right, I just wanted to share this. This was out at the Victorville Boeing Yard. See, that's one of the Qantas 747s there. I think it's funny that they paint the kangaroo, the identifiable part of the logo off, because it's like as if we're not going to know what airline that was if you know the livery. Same thing as you can see, that was obviously a United plane. Maybe Continental, but I think that's a United plane down there because they Continental went out of business a long time ago. But it is, there's hundreds of airplanes there. There's also one of these in Arizona, and there's also one out near Ridgecrest at that airport there. Because you really think about it, these planes have a lifespan of 20 to 30 years, and they kind of go, They go, after service, they got to get retired, but a lot of the parts are still good. So they kind of go to these storage places as they wait their final destination. All right, so our Cactus and Burrow Patrol agents. So I haven't gotten this published CBP on our website just yet. We're working just a few last minute things that will be published by Saturday morning, I promise. So what we're going to do is we're going to have pop-ups. And this is going to allow us to have pop-up events at cities throughout all of the gateway communities and beyond. And what we're going to do is have special, scavengers, giveaways, promotions, and we'll pop up and we'll, once our vinyl passports are released. Now the passports, I'm showing you the samples. We're still ironing out the design and stuff. So as long as I can get everything to the printer by the second week in January, I'm hoping we can have these by Coachella time, which would be March. So stay tuned. We're going to give you updates on that. The digital passport is live. We will have another episode on that. But as far as our CBP pop-ups, we're going to have a great pop-up this weekend. It's going to be a little scavenger and road trip. I'm not going to give out all the details just yet, but you'll see us on the side of the road or at a location, and we're encouraging you to stop for special prizes and to meet us and maybe tag us. So, all right, so I'm going to come back to the studio here, and it's a rabbit hole. So let me take this off. So let's come back here. Oh. Okay. All right. So that's it for now. So I'm going to end this recording. Tomorrow, we will not be doing any streaming tomorrow, I don't believe. But when we come back over the weekend, we're going to talk about our top 5 for 25. This is on the website. So this talks about JTGCA goals. So it is on the website, actually, I think it's under Monforce Towns right now. There's a small little snippet on it. But we have a lot more to share about this. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you down the road. See us at Village Fest tonight. Bye-bye.